Doctor Who, Episode 8. You're all going to have to bear with me on this one. I'm struggling to get over a cold. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to say that this episode was really dark, but I kind of liked it. Even though I think that Chibnall is basically clicking off check marks at this point, you know? We had the Rosa Parks episode, the partition episode. Now we have the gender and misogyny episode. I think it's good that it's tackling so many issues. I just wish it wasn't so on the nose. It feels almost like being hit over the head with a bat, you know. I kind of what I did like about it is the doctor acknowledging that sort of problems that she had as a woman in this episode she absolutely would not have had in her other incarnations. Can you imagine King James questioning Capaldi or Tennant? It just would not have happened. And I think he was the perfect person to pick because he was just a raving misogynist with mommy issues, and I know there are rumors that he was gay. I'm not sure if that is how historically accurate that is. And speaking of gay, we had King James clearly hitting on Ryan for much of the episode, which felt uncomfortable and predatory quite a bit of the time, to be perfectly honest. And it would be nice if we had a gay portrayal that didn't read quite the way this one did. There was the power imbalance, obviously, because King James is the king. And then you had the fact that Ryan is black, the king is white. And in some ways, it was sort of countered by the fact that Ryan had a better sense of what was going on because he is, after all, the doctor's companion, and being from our time, has a better understanding of science and doesn't lean on superstition to to answer questions that are just beyond his scope. Still, it just really made me very uncomfortable to watch him hitting on Ryan time after time after time and refusing to sort of take the subtle hint of I'm not that into you. So if they're going to do like a gay character, it would be nice if they did it in a way that didn't feel just sort of skeevy and sort of creepy. I think that would be much much better. And I know we're coming off the wings of the 12th Doctor's companion, whose name escapes me right at this moment. I'm so sorry. And that was a much better portrayal than this one, but still. Okay. As for the misogyny, the witch trials, as we know, really existed to disenfranchise women. It was a form of torture. It was to silence any kind of independence within women. It fractured communities. This is real, and it's gender-based terrorism. And I think it was basically treated very, very seriously this episode, despite the fact that we had an alien creature reanimating the corpses of these dead women. Um, so I found this to be a very good thing, combined with the fact that the doctor herself faced misogyny, was well aware of this misogyny, and threw it back and at King James, and really went to great lengths to point out how ridiculous it is. Because clearly, of everyone that was there, the doctor was the most capable of dealing with what was going on. And simply based in her gender, um, you know, she was someone to be suspicious of. The other major issue I think that they touched on was bullying, and this idea when you bully, you have something to hide, and you just need to stand up to bullies, and they'll stop. And that's, I think, a very dangerous message to send. The idea that you just need to stand up to a bully, because you can stand up to a bully, get your butt beat, and be bullied again the very next day. You know, what it takes is a community to make it clear that bullying is wrong. I think we're setting up victims to be dangerously hurt by saying to them, just stand up for yourself. It's very, very seldom a case of the fact that the victim just won't speak up. And I also think it's dangerous the fact that the bully did indeed have something wrong with them. This is another social myth that somebody is bullying because something is wrong with them. It's the reaction. They themselves are being bullied, so this is what they learn to do, and this is how they assert power over someone else because they have felt or are currently feeling powerless. This is true in some circumstances, but it's certainly not universal. It is, however, the easy message that the media chooses to portray when it comes to bullying. Bullying is a lot more complex and it requires complex solutions. It requires the intervention of a community of people to get to the bottom of what the real issue is and to get the bullying to stop. It's not just an answer of, gee, the victim isn't strong enough to stand up for themselves. And I really did not like that that was so heavily asserted in this episode. So as things go, it wasn't bad. I think it was one of the I think episode 8, The Witchfinder, was one of the better episodes of this season so far. I found it really engaging. Even when it played with things that I thought were a little bit uncomfortable. Once again gonna bring up Yaz because I really feel um I don't know. I just don't feel like they are doing her any kind of justice. And sure, she didn't get reduced to the comic relief the way that King James and Ryan did, which I'm gonna say again is homophobic. And she did give us this little detail about herself and being bullied in school. So we were given a nugget about her, just a little bit more about how she came to be the way she is, but I still so strongly feel that she is being underutilized. I don't mind when it's Graham, who was himself also a bit underutilized this episode because, well, Graham is white, he's straight, he's cisgender, and he's able bodied. Characters like that have always gotten the bulk of the attention in the media, so anytime Graham is actually sidelined, it's not really a bad thing. It actually speaks progress that his voice isn't louder than the Doctor's companions of color. I just wish that they would bring Yaz more into the story and stop giving her these teeny tiny moments to shine and just let her explode. I think she has the potential to be a really brilliant companion and she's great to watch, but it feels far too often like she's the third wheel and they don't know what to do with her. Um, and I think this is going to be my ongoing complaint of this season. It is, where is Yaz? What is Yaz doing? What is the importance of Yaz? That is going to be the overwhelming question about this season because here we are at episode 8 and they still don't have it right. At least that's my opinion at this point. Okay, so I think we just have episode 9 to go, and then we'll be on hiatus until the New Year's Day episode. And I just want to ask, am I the only one who feels that Christmas won't feel like Christmas because there's no Doctor Who episode? Like, what are you supposed to do after you finish eating all that turkey if you're not watching Doctor Who? Yeah, I'm a little bah humbug on this, Chris Chibnall. You owe us fans a little for this one.